I wanted to start, some people on this session today probably have a good idea what data science is, but we hear a lot of terms out there, right? We hear about data analytics, we hear about data science, we hear about data literacy, right? So just give me the breakdown. Like, what's the difference between data literacy versus, say, data analytics, data science, and then somebody who's actually in a role that we would call a data scientist, right? So just break that down a little bit so we're all in the same place of understanding.
Sure. I'm glad you asked that question because data science has been around for quite a while, maybe 20 some years now. And I think that still companies and data scientists are still struggling to define what the differences are from AI, machine learning, data science, data analysis, etc. Right? Yeah. And so I would say data is everywhere and everybody's talking about data. And when you ask people what data can do, they think about, it can predict trends, what color is going to be the new fashion, what political candidate is going to win an election, etc. However, very few people that consume data in an everyday life actually think of the data behind the products they use. So there's one thing called digital literacy, which is very different from data literacy. Digital literacy means we use Google Maps and there's so much data, we seldom have to think about, Google constantly sending, location information from our phones to create those maps, Waze telling us how to avoid traffic jams and whatnot. It's a data product that we are able to use, but we seldom have to think of it as a data and heavy, that involves heavy machine learning behind the app. Yep. And so data literacy for me is to actually be aware of the fact that data exists, to use critical thinking to question what the sources of the data are. Are we capturing it accurately? Are we using it ethically? Are we anonymizing it? Are we protecting it? Sort of knowing more about what we're working with, being able to consume the data, analyze it for predictive purposes, and then being able to communicate what the insights of analyzing that data are. So I would say that there are different levels of development. So data analysis is kind of the lowest level in that we realize, and what people used to call big data, that was sort of the sexiest term a few years ago, was just learning the engineering that was so complex and how to set up massive data sets so that we could count events, count things, like how many people apply for a bank loan, how many events are captured by the Large Hadron Collider in terms of collisions of subatomic particles and so on. Data analysis was counting all those things, but in clever ways. Whereas data science starts, at counting those things, but making predictions out of those things. And machine learning is knowing that there are feedback loops, that getting more data coming in spits out better and better insights because it trains the algorithm better.
Yep.
So I don't see these terms as different, but more of an increasing depth in each one of these layers.